just want to share something with you guys, but I didn't take any video of it. I am going to share some photos. So all morning I had this trapped feeling, and right now it's 3:04, November 14th. So all day I had this very trapped feeling. The last vlog that I had that I published, I filmed on Monday, and that was the last day that I wasn't home full time with the baby, and today is Saturday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days in a row of watching the baby from 9:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night by myself. Now, obviously he goes to bed at like 7 and he takes naps, but that's a long time to be like trapped in this apartment. And of course I'm not really trapped in the apartment, but with coronavirus, it makes it really difficult because a lot of the things that I would normally do to go like emotionally, like just get some time away, feel like they're slipping away because like this whole year, well, I started in the middle of the summer. I've been walking a lot, and that's been really helpful for clearing my head. And also like I can go take an hour-long walk before Valentine leaves for work. And of course, like I'm not really trapped, but it feels like the weather's getting colder, though it was still nice today. And the baby at this age where like every single thing is difficult. Changing his diaper is difficult. Getting him dressed is difficult. Eating is difficult and messy. Like every step of the day is difficult. And he no longer fits in the car seat that we have. And since we think we're leaving, it doesn't make sense to buy a new car seat. Also, when I'm by myself, if I want to take a taxi somewhere and then have him in a car seat, and then have him in the stroller so we can walk around, like then I'm by myself with the stroller in a car seat. That doesn't really work. Like taking, because of where we live, if I want to go somewhere, taking the bus or the subway is fine with him right now in the stroller, but it takes like 45 minutes and then it's getting dark at 5:30. So if I don't get my stuff together and I end up wanting to go out at like noon or 1, it's like, okay, well that's not really, at that point it doesn't really make sense to spend the time to get him ready to go, to then spend 45 minutes getting somewhere to be there at 2 if we're gonna have to turn around and leave at like 4. So I just feel very, very trapped, and I feel very burnt out, and I just feel overwhelmed. Anyway, this video is not to complain. This video is actually to like talk about an experience that I had today. So I've just been feeling all kinds of stress and pressure, but there's no way to fix it. It's like we're waiting on this K1 visa. Until we get it, we're stuck in this situation where he's like gone all the time and I'm here with the baby. Too much for me to get my work done. And, like I always envisioned that if we were still here at this time, well, I didn't think we really would be, but I envisioned that by like last summer, we would have like, somebody local who came over like maybe 4 hours, 2 days a week or something, just something, but we can't. So it's just me, and the baby's a lot right now, and with the pandemic, it's extra, and I know everyone feels that way. Like I know everyone in the world feels that way. It's not just me. Anyway, so today I was like, you know what? If I go for a walk and I make a vlog, I will feel better. If I go like walk around and vlog it, I will feel better. But then I realized that like, okay, I couldn't handle going around. I couldn't handle all of the steps I needed to get him ready to go, and then also all of the steps that I needed to do to film a vlog at the same time. And I actually recorded the intro for like 2 different times, and he kept crying in the middle of it, and so I just deleted them. Because it was like he just was not in a place, like until we left the apartment, I was not gonna be able to film anything. And then once we got outside, I didn't want to like risk. He's like, the last couple walks we've been on, he's like melted down in the middle, and I was like, you know what, like what's the bare minimum I can do? I can, but like still feel creatively fulfilled, because even though going on a walk would feel good, like I needed to do something for me and for him. So I was like, okay, well, the bare minimum that I can do is I can go out, take him on a walk, but I can take some photographs while we go. So I didn't bring this camera, even though this is a great photo camera, and I brought my cell phone, but I didn't use it. What I did was I brought my Nikon, which is a D810, which is a great camera. It's like, at this point, I've had this for 4 years. So it's an older camera. It's not the model you would get now. If you got a new Nikon, you'd probably get like a Z6 or Z7. But I brought this, but what I did was, I didn't bring one of my normal lenses. I brought this new Helios 44 vintage, vintage Soviet lens that I recently picked up. So I'd mentioned before, for sure on my other channel, I think on this one too, that I've been wanting to get into some Soviet, like buy some Soviet vintage lenses while we're here. And one of the reasons that I want to use them is because they can take your like DSLR and give you like really different looks, but they're not very expensive. So this one came on a camera, and I think that I'm also like on a SLR, old Soviet SLR Zenit camera that I'm also going to use. So I bought this. I think you can pick these up, I want to say for like 30 bucks. I bought it with the camera, so it was a little bit more. But I had bought this maybe like a week ago, maybe 2 days ago, but I had to wait for the converter to come in because you can't just pop an old Soviet lens onto a Nikon. You actually screw on this like metal plate that I got on Amazon that was like $5. And then that converts the old lens to now something that will mount on my Nikon. They are converters for every kind of camera. So if you don't have a Nikon, if you have a Canon, there's converters, Fuji, whatever. So let me show you what the actual old camera looks like. And it comes in this like leather case, which I love. So keep in mind this lens normally goes on here, but you can use a lot of different lenses. The mount on this lens is called an M42 mount. So it's just like a little old Zenit. And I did buy film. I actually bought a couple different old Soviet film cameras. Some I bought specifically for the lenses. One I bought actually to use. And then I also bought a German, like an East German little film camera that I don't know if that one's going to work, but that one costs like basically nothing. All right, so I've been researching these lenses. I bought the lenses, I bought the converter, but I hadn't had time to go out and actually use it. I bought another lens, an Industar, and I used that at home on a bouquet of flowers. And that was cool, but it was like still, it was fun. The pictures turned out really well, but it still felt stifling because what I wanted was artistic, creative freedom. Like, I am a creative person. I'm a travel writer. I'm used to, until this year, even when I was pregnant, like, and stuck in Sofia, I could, you know, walk around the city and take photos whenever I wanted. So even on days when I didn't do that, I never needed that because like I had it, right? Like, it was like I could go do it if I wanted to. But this year, I can't go do anything. So I've been walking around the neighborhood a lot, and I have a lot of photos of the neighborhood, like tons. And I've even, like, you guys have even seen parts of the neighborhood on the Halloween vlog. But whenever you get a new camera, at least for me, whenever I get a new camera, a new lens, it forces me to like rethink how I approach the neighborhood and and photography in general. I'd actually taken out the film camera a few days ago and taken photos with that, but I'm not ready to show you guys those because they could go a lot of different ways. I want to get some developed and know that I'm actually taking photos and they're not just blanks. Oh, I just realized that my hair is messed up from the wind. Anyway, so the cool thing about having lenses that you can both use on a DSLR and you can use on the original camera if you have it, is that you can take photos on the camera, but you need two lenses because you can't have a roll of film in there and pop the lens off, obviously. So that's why I basically have 2 identical lenses. And so this is the Helios 44M. There's like a 44M-2 and 44, or 44-2 and 44, like there's lots of different numbers, and I want to try more of them. Actually want to try to pick up some more while we're still living in Eastern Europe, because obviously it makes more sense to buy Russian lenses in a country, Bulgaria, that imported them during the Soviet Union than to buy them in the US. Anyway, so I popped this on and went out and took photos. And I really like how they turned out. I just uploaded them into Lightroom. I still need to edit them. But basically, this isn't like a Helios review. I might do one, I might not, I don't know. I don't know how, like, I know I want this channel to include like creativity and so like I want this channel to be like travel, but a lot of travel is like travel photography, so I wanted to include that. But I want to do some gear stuff, but I don't know how deep I want to go into that. So basically my life is being a travel writer, and that means needing my own photos, and then taking care of Jordan. So, and right now that all happens in Eastern Europe. So photos and the equipment that I use are really integral to that. In fact, he turned 10 months old today. And so this morning I was editing. Every month I edit all the photos from the previous month of him that I've like saved as good. If I haven't, some I edit like as I go. So I had about 2 weeks of the month's worth of photos to edit. And then I posted them, and it's like, even when I pare it down, it's like, I'm a mom. I'm still posting like 52 photos of him. But I forced myself to only do it once a month. So once a month on Facebook, everybody gets a giant photo like post, instead of me posting like one a day and being like, oh, how cute he is. But on my Instagram account, I post him more often. So, okay, so back to this. So I don't know if I'm going to do like a full review. I think I might want to do this kind of stuff just because I like it. Because basically I want this vlog channel to just reflect the things that I like and the things that I do, and like thinking about photography equipment is a lot. But I actually like was so in a rut and felt so trapped and was so like stressed out about this year that I put this camera up for sale a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks ago, like a month and a half ago. I was like, I don't want to deal with moving it back to the US. And I didn't list it with a price or anything, but I like put out some feelers. And then when somebody started actually talking about buying it, I was like, oh no, I'm not selling it. And also let me buy 2 more cameras and then 4 more, like a bunch more cameras. So I had this camera and my cell phone. And then I put this one up for sale and took it back, decided not to sell it, and then bought this camera that I'm filming on, my little Insta360 Go, and then 4 vintage cameras. So it's like when I didn't eat meat for a year, all of a sudden after that all I wanted was steak. It was like that. So I love how the photos turned out, but more importantly, I came back home feeling better. Like, even though it's not like I didn't make massive like forward projection on a project, I didn't get an article done, haven't even edited them yet, like I just feel fulfilled. So, and part of why I'm interested in the vintage lenses is because they give you a different look of photography. And this one has like swirly bokeh. So bokeh is like the blurry parts of a photograph, and this one, like old vintage lenses, the reason people want to buy them is because they have flaws and they have different characteristics. So now all photos are sharp. Like if you take a photo with your cell phone, most likely that photo looks very much like what you really saw, but it can be like sharp. Whereas these produce like a more soft, ethereal, like beautiful picture. But the reason they fell out of fashion, and the reason just like film photography fell out of fashion, is that they're great, but like if you can only take photos in that style, you wouldn't want that. So I love the photos, but most importantly, I just cleared my head, played around with like something that is, you know, related to my business, but is more of the creative side of my business, so I can use these photos for my business. But I also like just am emotionally fulfilled. So I'll save the photos and have them as part of my stock for Sophia, for the Sophia website. But I also just like got the joy of making them. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. And Jordan was actually fairly chill on the walk, but he did by the end get a little fussy. But we were gone for an hour. And I just like, yes, it was annoying doing all the stuff I needed to do to leave. It was. And some days it's too much. Like some days it's just too much. So like some days all the work that it takes to like get him to leave, like to take him somewhere is just too much. Like we live in a building that isn't even handicap accessible, which means like I either need to carry him and carry the stroller separately and put him in the stroller outside, or put him in the stroller and then maneuver him down 8 stairs. Like it's just, anyway. But today we made it outside. Today I did something, and I saw a meme earlier today that I'd posted that was like, or maybe it was somebody else's post and I shared it. I shared it from their Instagram account, but I can't remember if it was a meme or just like a post. But it was like how to be, I'll just read it. All right. So Inspired to Write posted a picture, ways to combat perfectionism. 1, make shitty art. 2, do it every day. So I'm not having a perfectionism issue, but this really spoke to me because I am having a feeling trapped in a rut without a creative outlet problem. But I can still try to make a little bit of art, and I can still try to make it every day, and giving myself the opportunity to play with new technology and to have new experiences, even in a space where I've walked this neighborhood hundreds of times. And yes, every time I take out a camera, I can find something interesting, but forcing myself, giving myself a whole new way to look at it was really helpful. So, yeah, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more vlogs about my life in Eastern Europe, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. If you want more photography and creativity and creative life vlogs, let me know in the comments. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and ciao.